Hello everyone, I am Dr. Ratesi Rai, Assistant Professor of Physics, MLR Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. Welcome back to the lecture series on semiconductor and semiconductor devices. Today I will discuss about solar cell. So in this lecture I will go through the construction of solar cell, then working of solar cell, then characteristics, then efficiency of solar cell, then are some advantages and disadvantages of solar cell. Then I'll discuss about few applications of the solar cell. So what is solar cell? Solar cell or a photovoltaic cell is a PN junction device or semiconductor device which convert light into electricity. This works on the principle of photovoltaic effect. That means whenever light will fall on the solar panel or solar cell, that time it will convert that light energy into electricity. So solar cell is a PN junction device. So here we are making a PN junction, and on that PN junction where light is falling on that time some electricity will be produced. This is the symbol of the solar cell. As solar cell used as a power source or battery, that's why we are denoting solar cell as a battery here, and as it is works when light will fall on it. So this is the means light is falling on it and it is working as a power source. So this is the symbol of this solar cell. Now we'll go to the construction. So here in the solar cell, mostly we are taking one electrode. On that electrode we are depositing some p-type material, and on that p-type semiconductor we are depositing another n-type semiconductor material to construct the solar cell, and again on the n-type material we are placing some electrode which is another metal. So here we are having one front electrode, back electrode, and in between that we have the PN junction. And here the solar cell we are connecting with some external load so that some current will be passing through the external circuit whenever we are connecting any load to the solar cell. Now again to this entire assembly we are encapsulating this solar cell with some transparent glass plate, and mostly we make that portion as a anti-reflecting layer. Now we are encapsulating the solar cell with some anti-reflection coating so that whatever light will be falling on the solar cell, maximum of the light will be absorbed by the solar cell so that maximum amount of electricity can be produced from the solar cell. Now we will go to the working, how solar cell work. As I told, solar cell is working on the principle of photovoltaic effect. That means it is converting the light energy into electricity. So whenever sunlight or photons will be falling on the solar cell, that time at the depletion layer it is producing electron and hole pair. So in between the p-type layer and n-type layer, as we know, there will be the depletion layer. At this depletion layer few neutral atoms will be there. So whenever sunlight is falling on the depletion layer, that time sunlight is transferring its energy to those neutral atoms. Yes, now electron hole pair will be produced at the depletion layer. Now there will be some potential which is known as the barrier potential, which is due to the depletion layer. That barrier potential will drift that electron hole pairs away from the junction. Now in this diagram you can see here electron hole pair will be produced at the junction when sunlight is falling on it, and due to the potential barrier which is developed due to this depletion layer, it will drift that electron and hole away from the depletion layer, and here this hole will be attracted towards the p side and this electron will be drifted away towards the n side of this semiconductor PN junction. Now when this electron will drift and it will reach the neutral n region, it will make that n side more negative with an extra charge minus C. Similarly, this hole will be drifting towards the p side and it will make the p side more positive. That's why some potential difference will be arised inside the solar cell. Some built-in potential will be arised here. So now this potential which will be developed will be the open circuit voltage. So some open circuit voltage will be developed between the P side and N side. So if we will connect some external load with the solar cell now, that time in the external circuit, these charge carriers will flow, and due to the flow of this charge carrier, some electricity will be produced here and current will be flowing through the external circuit. Now we will see the VI characteristics of the solar cell. This is the variation of the current with respect to the voltage and variation of the power of the solar cell with respect to voltage. So, as I told initially, whenever we are not connecting any load to the solar cell, that time we will get the maximum current. So, that current is known as the short circuit current. Short circuit current is the current through the solar cell when the voltage across the solar cell is 0. That is, solar cell is short circuited. So that is the maximum current produced by the solar cell. So that time the voltage is 0. So at voltage is 0, we will get the short circuit current. And as we will increase the voltage, that time for certain period, the current will be constant. And after certain period, it will fall to 0 as we will increase the voltage. So this is the variation of current with the voltage. So this is our IV curve. Again, we can find out the power. Power will be equal to the multiplication of current and voltage. So it will I and V. V is equal to V into I. So this power we can get by multiplying the current value with the voltage value, and we can draw another graph. So this is the variation of this power with respect to voltage. So initially we can see from this graph, this is the PV curve, power versus voltage curve. Here, as we will increase the voltage, the power will increase initially and it will reach its maximum, and from this point it will go to 0. And here this is the maximum of the power. From the maximum of the power, if we draw a line perpendicular to the x-axis where it will intersect the IV curve, that point is known as the maximum power point. So maximum power point is the point on the IV curve corresponding to the maximum power, and its x-coordinate is known as maximum power voltage. VMP stands for maximum power voltage, and here its y-coordinate is maximum power current. So from this curve, once we will draw the IV curve and PV curve, from that we can find out this maximum power point, and that coordinate of the maximum power point will be our maximum power voltage and maximum power current. Now we can see what is the maximum voltage here. Maximum voltage is our open circuit voltage. What is open circuit voltage? This is the maximum voltage which can be produced by a solar cell. That time we are not connecting with any external load. That time the resistance is also 0. We are not connecting with any resistance, or we are not connecting with any external load. That time this current value will be 0. This current will be 0 when we are taking this open circuit voltage. For open circuit voltage, this current is 0. For short circuit current, this voltage value will be 0. Now we will go to the fill factor. What is fill factor? Fill factor is the ratio of maximum obtainable power to the product of open circuit voltage and short circuit current. We know from this graph how to find out this maximum power voltage, maximum power current, and open circuit voltage and short circuit current that we can measure directly from the device. Now this fill factor is defined as the product of IMP into VMP divided by the product of ISC into VOC. This is the ratio of maximum obtainable power, which is the product of IMP into VMP divided by open circuit voltage into short circuit current. Now this output power of the solar cell can be defined as VMP into IMP. This is the maximum power voltage into maximum power current. This is the output power. Now we'll see what is solar insolation. Solar insolation is the incoming solar radiation from the sun which is received on earth in short waves. The solar insolation can be defined as the ratio of P input divided by area of the solar cell. That means input power of the solar cell divided by the area of this solar cell. Now from this equation we can find what is the input power. Input power will be equal to the product of solar insolation into area of this solar cell. So this solar insolation we can represent as SI. Now we will see what is the efficiency of the solar cell. Efficiency of any device is, this is the ratio of output power to the input power into 100. This is the formula how we calculate the efficiency. That means how much that device is efficient. That means how much power it can convert to this output power. Means how much we are giving the input power and how much of this input power is converting to the output power, whatever energy or whatever power we need. Means what is the efficiency of that device. So here the efficiency of solar cell is also same. We are calculating as P output by P input into 100. Now in terms of VMP and IMP also we can represent the efficiency. As I told, this output power will be equal to the product of maximum power voltage and maximum power current. So this we can replace as IMP into VMP divided by P input into 100. So if maximum power voltage and maximum power current and input power will be given, we can find the efficiency of the solar cell. Again from the fill factor also we can find out the efficiency of this solar cell. As I told, fill factor will be equal to, fill factor is maximum power voltage into maximum power current divided by open circuit voltage into short circuit current. From this equation we can see this VMP into IMP will be fill factor into open circuit voltage into short circuit current. So this numerator can be replaced with short circuit current into open circuit voltage into fill factor divided by input power into 100. So this is the efficiency in terms of short circuit current, open circuit voltage, fill factor and input power. Now again if the solar insolation is given, from that also we can find out the efficiency. As I told in the previous equation, here solar insolation will be equal to input power by area of the solar cell. So P input we can replace as solar insolation into area of the solar cell. So hence here this efficiency can be written as VMP into IMP divided by solar insolation into area of the solar cell into 100. So in this equation, using all this equation, if any of this parameter in the right hand side will be given, we can find out the efficiency of this solar cell. Now we will see which materials are used for construction of the solar cell. Mostly we use silicon, gallium arsenide, cadmium telluride, copper indium selenide to construct this solar cell. Now we will see what are the advantages. Mostly as solar cell is operated by the solar power which we are getting from the sun, that's why the pollution associated with it is minimal. That means there is no pollution due to the solar cell. Whenever we are producing electric power from the solar cell, no pollution is associated with it. So it is eco-friendly and it will be durable. That means for a long time we can use this solar cell. And again this is having low maintenance cost. That means it is also pocket friendly. It will help us to reduce our electricity bill. Now we will see some disadvantages. What are the disadvantages of solar cell? Mostly it is having high installation cost, but this is for one time only. That's why once we are installing the solar cell, we can use it for a very long time. And again it is having very low efficiency. As the efficiency of this solar cell is very less, that's why we are using large solar panels we are installing large solar panels in order to produce electricity which can be used for our household use or anywhere we are using. And again, another disadvantage is during cloudy days and night time, as enough sunlight is not available, that's why we can't produce enough electricity at that time. These are the disadvantages of solar cell. Now we will see some applications of solar cell. First is the solar panel. So we are installing solar panel on the rooftop, and from that we are producing electricity which we are using for our household use to use all the electronic devices. And also we can charge the batteries and save that solar power to use in the night time. Again, solar space heating. So hot air solar system warm the air in homes or buildings using the sun. So here in winter season we can make the house, means we can make our living space cozy and warmth using this solar power. So this is by using solar heating system also we are just making our house interior warmth. Then in transportation also, these days we are producing solar cars. So using solar cars also we can reduce the use of the fossil fuel, and also we can reduce the pollution of our air due to it. That's why this solar car will be very helpful to reduce the pollution also, and we can also reduce the cost which we are spending for these fuels. Then solar cell are used in calculators. So in calculators also, instead of battery we are using solar cells to operate it. And another use of the solar cell is in spacecraft and space stations. We are using the solar panels on spacecraft and space stations to produce electricity which can be used there. Also, some power for electrically powered spacecraft propulsion will be there, which is also known as solar electrical propulsion. So, using the solar cell we can operate our spacecraft, and also in space stations also we are just using it for our electricity requirement. Again, solar lighting. Solar lighting means these days we are using solar lights, as like street lights also we are using solar lights which will be operated using the power of the sun. And in industrial uses also, in order to make this all the electricity deficiency of these industries and to reduce the carbon footprint for the electricity or power we are using from any other source, we are replacing it by solar energy. And also solar powered pumps also will be installed in these industries, which will be also making the use of the industry, and it will be a great solution to work without the need of traditional electricity. This means lower energy cost and step towards sustainability. So as the solar cell is very useful for sustainable development, and it is a sustainable source of energy which is eco-friendly and very budget friendly also. These days we are using solar panel in a very large scale, and this is all about how it works and how it is constructed. This is all about the lecture today. Thank you.